Hey hockey fans, welcome back to the channel. Let's go back in time to 1971. The Pittsburgh Pirates were World Series champions, the Milwaukee Bucks were NBA champions, and the Baltimore Colts won the Super Bowl. In the Canadian Football League, the Calgary Stampeders lifted the Grey Cup. In the NHL, the Montreal Canadiens were unlikely Stanley Cup champions. They upended the heavily favored Boston Bruins in the first round before knocking off the Minnesota North Stars and the Chicago Blackhawks in 7 games in the final, all with a little-known hero named Ken Dryden. Ken Dryden was born on August 8, 1947, in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Dryden was initially drafted 14th overall in 1964 by the Boston Bruins. Dryden didn't find out about his almost a Bruin status until a decade after the draft, when Canadiens head scout Ron Caron told him one day after practice. One of the players Dryden was originally drafted for was Guy Allen, a career minor leaguer who never played a game in the NHL. Dryden pursued a BA degree in history at Cornell University, where he also played hockey until his graduation in 1969. He backstopped the Cornell Big Red to the 1967 National Collegiate Athletic Association Championship and to 3 consecutive ECAC tournament championships and won 76 of his 81 varsity starts. Dryden made his NHL debut on Sunday, March 14, 1971, against the Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh. The Canadiens won the game 5-1. On March 20th, 1971, in a home game against his brother, Dave Dryden, Ken was the backup to Rogie Vachon, who was sidelined by an injury. The matchup set an NHL record that still stands today. The brothers are the only brothers tandem to play against each other as goaltenders in the NHL. It was late in the season at the time of Dryden's call-up to the big team, so he could only suit up for 6 regular season games. Despite being a complete unknown, he was able to put up a sparkling 1.65 goals against average. When the playoffs began, Ken was named the #1 goalie ahead of All-Star Rogie Vachon. Dryden would never look back. He would go on to help backstop the Montreal Canadiens to the Stanley Cup that year. If that wasn't impressive enough for a rookie goaltender with only 6 regular season games played in the NHL, he also won the Conn Smythe Trophy for the league's MVP during the playoffs, making him the only player to have ever won the Conn Smythe before winning the Calder Trophy. Dryden played a pivotal role in the 1972 Summit Series. He lost Game 1 7-3 and Game 4 5-3. He would bounce back in Game 6 with a 3-2 win and was in goal for the series clincher in Game 8, a 6-5 victory. Dryden had a fantastic career, winning the Stanley Cup in 1971, 1973, 1976, 1977, 1978, and 1979. After the 1972 NHL season, Ken won the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year. He did not win the trophy during his first year as he hadn't played the required number of games. It is remarkable to note that Dryden is the only player to win the Conn Smythe Trophy before winning the Calder Trophy, and is the only goaltender to win both the Conn Smythe and the Stanley Cup before losing a regular season game. Dryden's playing career was relatively short, playing from late 1971 until the end of the 1979 season. Ken also missed the entire 1973-1974 season due to a contract dispute. Dryden didn't let this hold him back, as he used the season away from NHL hockey to pursue a career as a legal clerk for the Toronto law firm of Osler, Hoskins and Harcourt. While interviewing for an articling position, the lawyer who interviewing him examined Dryden's resume, then looked up from the papers and said, "I see here you played some hockey. What else have you done?" As Dryden began to blush, searching for the right response, the lawyer burst out laughing, and of course Dryden got the job. Hey hockey fans, if you're enjoying this content, please tap that subscribe button. The Canadiens would still have another winning season without Ken between the pipes, but in the playoffs that year, they would lose in the first round to the New York Rangers in 6 games. During Ken's absence during the 1973-1974 season, the Habs allowed 56 more goals. Dryden retired from hockey on July 9, 1979. Dryden never lost more than 10 games in a season and only 57 games for his entire career. His goals against was unreal, with a high of 2.69 in 1974-1975 and a low of 2.03 in 1975-76, excluding his inaugural 6-game season in 1971. Indeed, only the Lord saves more than Ken Dryden. Dryden's statistics are legendary, compiling regular season totals of .790 winning percentage, a 2.24 goals against average, 46 shutouts, and 258 wins, with only 57 losses and 74 ties in 397 NHL games. Dryden won the Vezina Trophy 5 times and was selected as first-team All-Star in those 5 seasons. In 1988, Ken was ranked number 25 on the Hockey News list of the 100 greatest hockey players. Dryden was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1983 as soon as he was eligible. His jersey number 29 was retired by the Canadiens on January 29, 2007. He was inducted into the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame in 2011. Dryden was a towering presence between the pipes. At 6 feet 4 inches, some called him an octopus because he would be everywhere at once. Others would call him the 4-story goalie. Phil Esposito of the Boston Bruins named him that thieving giraffe. Ken was famous for his pose of leaning on his stick when the play had moved down the ice, the same pose that former Montreal Canadiens goaltender George Vezina would strike 60 years prior. Dryden became an accomplished writer, publishing several books, notably Face Off at the Summit. It was a diary about Team Canada in the Canada vs. Soviet Union series of 1972. He also wrote The Game, which received great success. In 2019, he published Scotty, A Hockey Life Like No Other, his biography of his Canadiens coach Scotty Bowman. He served as a color commentator with play-by-play man Al Michaels for ABC's coverage of the Miracle on Ice. In 1997, Dryden was hired as president of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He would resign the position in 2004 when he entered politics. On April 28, 2006, Dryden announced that he would run for the leadership of the Liberal Party of Canada. Ken Dryden's legacy in hockey is monumental, particularly highlighted by his remarkable debut in 1971. That year, Dryden, a then unknown goalie, stepped onto the ice for the Montreal Canadiens and delivered a performance that stunned the hockey world. His exceptional skills helped lead the Canadiens to an unexpected Stanley Cup victory, earning him the Conn Smythe Trophy as the playoffs' most valuable player. This incredible start marked the beginning of a career that would see Dryden win 6 Stanley Cups and solidify his place as a hockey legend. Hey hockey fans, if you like this content, please slap that subscribe button. You can also follow my blog at https://tedtalkshockey.com, and remember to keep your stick on the ice.
Thanks for watching!